Hey Aries, welcome back to my channel. Thank you to everyone who's watched and subscribed so far. Today we're going to focus a little more on other people in your energy. We're going to look at some past, present, and future energy and kind of delve a little bit more into other folks that you might be dealing with. So keep in mind this isn't going to resonate for everybody. You could be dealing with an Aries. This could be your person, this could be a friend, it could be a loved one. So you have a bunch of, you've got a person here that, or you, in the past you were dealing with somebody that might have been like, I want to say really charismatic, like a really like influential speaker, somebody who could like inspire really well, like with the way they talked. And it may even be somebody that was like their intention, you know, maybe with their job, could be somebody with their job. It doesn't have to be like in across their whole life. It might be something in a sales position, like trying to get money from people. Or you could have, for some of you may have, you know, found yourself involved with somebody that, you know, talked a good game and seemed like really passionate, really enthusiastic about things, but maybe you found out that they were a little bit more like miserly than they came across, like a little bit more selfish than the way that they presented themselves. Because it's like, there's also, it's like this feeling of like a really great first impression, like somebody who says like everything you'd want to hear, like they have a way with words. They can speak very passionately, maybe a little bit seductively, along those lines. But it's like the secret to them, or you know, the real truth about them is that they're definitely stubborn. Like I see somebody here who's like really prepared to defend their position, like really will not let go of whatever their position is on, you know, whatever the subject is. Like somebody who's like really argumentative, frankly, and is maybe cannot let the issue go, is unwilling to hear, you know, any outside input, like somebody who knows that they have all the answers, like they have all the information that they need. They know they have, they know their intuition is, you know, it's fine, it's good. They don't need any outside information. And in fact, if you even present anything to the contrary, they will probably get really defensive and really argumentative. So some of you are dealing with somebody with a serious, you know, a serious character disorder. Honestly, some of you are dealing with somebody who's incredibly toxic. They may need some sort of, you know, intervention, some sort of help here. Somebody that is hugely defensive. And I don't necessarily see that this person is a liar, but it's like they, and for some of you, this is the result of like, you know, the hardships in their life. This is the result of, you know, them having to, you know, maybe do things on their own in some manner for their whole life, or have been attacked over and over again for something, you know, in their life that's kind of cultivated this sense of like needing to protect themselves. That's another huge theme that I see here. Somebody who's super protective of themselves. They're very closed off. They're very, you know, self-contained, and they're willing to defend themselves, and they're willing to fight for, you know, they have no problem fighting as a means to resolve things, if that makes sense. And for some of you, this is the result of a past toxic situation that they may have been in. Some of you, your person may have been involved with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, that has sort of impacted this person's outlook on life. Like they have, dealt with, all the buzzwords everyone likes nowadays, the gaslighting, narcissism, blah, blah, blah. They dealt with somebody who maybe lied, cheated, made them feel compromised in some way, made them feel oppressed in some way. And that has resulted in this sort of defensive posture, this sort of like this person cannot handle like any sort of criticism, like at all. And they're very closed off, and they're very, but again, for some of you, it's like they have a real gift of being inspiring. Like they have a gift, they have a way of speaking that maybe makes you feel like really warm or makes you feel really loved. Maybe they say the things that you really like to hear, and they may be a very inspired person on the surface. This could be somebody that really like goes after things, that's really, spontaneous, into new ideas, into, they do have this really great quality that I can see here, but it's like underneath that, there's just a lot of strife is the word that I have here. And for some of you, it's because they either are involved with, maybe an earth sign feminine, or, were in the past. It's, for some of you, it could be their mother was this way. Yeah, this person is, you might not be talking to this person right now. Some of you are being encouraged to use your intuition a little bit more, to not focus so much on words that are being spoken, but maybe on things that aren't being said. Because again, I'm getting that this person really has like a gift of gab. Like they can express themselves really well. They may even be able to express their feelings really well. And for some of you, they don't express their feelings at all. For some of you, you feel like this person is just really secretive and maybe a little bit immature when it comes to how they express their emotions here. For some of you, you're kind of waiting on a little bit more wisdom on how to proceed in this situation. Yeah, for some of you, this has just become a really painful sort of circumstance that you're in. So you have, we've got an air sign here as well. For some of you, it's an instance of, I can't live with you, I can't live without you. Like ending this connection would be so hard and so painful that you just don't know if you could do it. You don't know if you could go through that. Some of you, it's going to require, if you're trying to end this connection, I'm not saying that all of you are. So some of you, this just kind of is what it is. Nobody's perfect. I don't see this person intentionally meaning harm, but dealing with some definite major personal issues. For some of you, it's a situation that might currently be over, and you're not speaking with this person, although one or both of you would like to speak, but it's something's ended. Some of you want to talk about closure. Some of you want to talk about, how this ended, how this relationship ended. You do have the Two of Cups here, but it's like this is causing enormous anxiety and anguish for somebody here. Either the ending of this situation or the thought of if it has to end. But you're being advised here to kind of get out of your emotions if that's what you're caught up in right now. Like get out of the emotional part of you. And I don't mean like get in your head, but you need to be a little bit more logical and practical about it, a little bit colder towards the situation to kind of be able to figure out what to do. For some of you, you're trying to figure out if what you've invested is if you're reaping the benefits of what you've invested in. Some of you are trying to figure out if you should continue to invest in this, and some of you just flat out don't know what to do with this situation. Okay, let's get some future energies here. Okay, so I gotta say, the future energy looks good here. The key is a dedication to the truth at all costs. So what I see when I see that is whatever is going on with this person below the surface, whatever these struggles that they are, that whatever the past has caused them to be so defensive, to be so hyper sensitive to criticism, to be so stubborn and closed off, it's about getting them to acknowledge the truth a little more. Because if we're dealing with somebody that doesn't open up and doesn't talk, who knows what's going on in their mind up there, right? And there's probably a lot of untrue things or unrealistic fears. That's another word. You may be dealing with somebody who has a lot of irrational, unrealistic fears. Keep being able to speak the truth. Keep bringing the truth, whatever your truth is, whatever the truth is of this situation. Keep making that the forefront of this this relationship. And again, there's a huge emphasis on not being so emotional or impulsive, but being a little bit more analytical and practical. But this person, or you, there's an emphasis on commitment here. That there's a potential for a happy future, for a commitment, if the truth can be, the truth can be found. There's a, for some of you, maybe it has to do with actually a living situation. For some of you, this has to do, hold on, before I say that, let me get the rest of these cards. Some of you be trying to decide whether you should live with this person. That could be a struggle that you have, whether you should live with this person, build a home with them, or whether you should stay single here. Some of you do quite well on your own, or some of you want to do quite well on your own. You want to be successful and independent on your own so that you're not relying on someone else. And some of you still are being guided that may be also the key to making this all work, is to have that autonomy within yourself, to be able to save yourself more or less. But yeah, I see that there is a desire here. There's a will to keep this moving forward, to keep this moving forward, to keep this. I think if I'm talking to a female here, you have a lot more power in this situation than you think that you do. You have an ability to help this person, to show them a different way. To, like, some of you you do really well on your own just as an independent person, and in a lot of aspects in life, you have an ability to sort of keep this person moving in the right direction to come into their full masculine power here, to be able to overcome all of this, dysfunctional thought processes that they have going on up here. Some of you really have the ability to help and show this person to collaborate with them. Some of you may be thinking about going to couples therapy. That will be helpful if you're thinking of that. That will help move things actually very quickly in the right direction. Yeah, some of you are definitely being encouraged to seek out help in some professional way. And it could just be for yourself. Some of you may need to just go maybe seek the help of a therapist or a counselor or something like that, or you're being encouraged to do it together to get to the truth, to get to the heart of the matter of this, because you don't want to be in this I can't live with you, I can't live without you sort of scenario of not knowing what to do, of not being able to talk to this person. For some of you, you literally can't even talk to this person without them becoming super defensive. Like I said, it doesn't, from what I can see, it doesn't have anything to do with you. It has to do with somebody from the past that may still be an influence in this person's life that causes them a lot of fear. If this is an ex, if this is a baby's mother, something like that, this person is still afraid of them. They're still in bondage in some way to this ex person, and it may be just incredibly difficult to even speak about it. Some of you feel like you can't talk at all, you can't express your feelings at all. Maybe you're afraid it's going to end if you do that, but there's a lot of anxiety around this, and you're being, like I said, advised to be a little bit more analytical, a little more practical. We don't always have all the solutions in our own mind, even though we'd like to think that we do. So sometimes it takes some research. Sometimes it takes a third person, in the form of a counselor, a therapist, somebody like that, to bring some more insight into the situation to help move things along. And I really see that here. There's some situation involving help from some other party that can move the situation along in the right way, because there's definitely a commitment here if you want it in the future, but it's going to require a deep dive into the truth of the matter and working together with this person, not being at odds with them, being able to be autonomous and independent on your own, but being able to help move this person towards, they're broken, at least in the past they're a very broken person, but being able to move them towards this divine masculine, this boss man. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it if you subscribe. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed so far, and I really look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.